Hey there, how's it going? Are you good? Brilliant. Sleepyhead pancake. So what I'm doing right now is just positioning the camera to film the monitor. And sorry about the lighting. If I could change it, I would, but I can't because it's the sun. Okay, so in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to improve your audio, your video's audio. This is Adobe Premiere Pro, and I'm going to use some of these videos as an example. Now, the person's videos I'm going to be using is this guy, Hoovie's Garage. Now, I first came across one of this guy's videos quite a few months back, and I assumed he only had a few thousand subscribers. Turns out he has 200,000. I based his subscriber count on the audio quality and maybe a little bit on the editing. He has even said himself that he has no idea how to process audio. So I thought this would be a good chance to explain some basic techniques. So maybe we'll start off with this video here and go on to this one, but we'll see how we do with this one first. Oh, and by the way, I'm using my camera to record the screen rather than using a screen capture software because I can't be bothered. Okay then, so here is the video. Import it, and I'm just going to make these bigger so you can see them. Now, we're going to pretend that these clips have just come straight off of the camera. Now, what it should look like is these clips should be split up because they're not all joined together to begin with. Now, every time the camera angle changes, that is another clip. So I'm just going to do this roughly and split these clips up. You see how the waveforms on these clips are quite low and then these ones are bigger? That means the volume on these ones are louder. So what this guy should have done is select these two and lower the gain on them. Let's say minus 5 dB. And see, we've brought it down to about a similar sort of level as the rest of them. Maybe they could do with being a little lower, minus 2. Now keep in mind, I haven't even played these clips to hear the volume on them. I'm basing it on what I see, which doesn't always work. We don't really need the video, but I'll make it a bit bigger. Now we'll take a listen, and by the way, you can look at this to see the volume level.
Exactly how much I needed to take it to the dyno again. But before that, I'm going to shamelessly beg for subscribers.
So let's say the volume level is roughly around minus 18 to 15 dB. Now we'll go to this clip. You see that bit right there? That is another camera angle, which should be split. So let's split that, because it's quite a lot louder. All right, so what I'll do now is apply some gain reduction on these two clips. Let's say minus 4. So that's sort of evened it out a little more now. It looks kind of like one clip. All right, so let's go back to listening to the volume on this. So that is between 15 and 12 dB now on this, which is about the same as this.
I'm going to shamelessly beg for subscribers.
So there we go, that's basically the volume sorted out on this video. And as I scrub through this, you'll be able to see that there's no crazy variations in volume levels. Now what we'll do is we'll just compare this to the original. Okay, so here what I have is the original audio as it was, untouched by me or by him. And we'll just solo this. Now check this out. What I'll do is I'll just scrub through it. You see how high that goes? That is more or less minus 2 dB there. It's probably even a little higher than that. You see how low this is? So when I first originally watched this video, I was like, whoa, I had to turn the volume right down. So we can delete that now. So yeah, basically this guy with 200,000 subscribers should be doing this sort of stuff. But he has no idea how to work on audio, which is a shame really. So now what we can do is we can add some compression to this. And what compression we'll do is, say these lower volume areas, it'll boost them a little bit. And then these higher volume areas, wherever there's spikes over here, it'll lower them a little bit. So you get more of an even volume. Okay, so I've just added the compressor to this clip right here, and this is the compressor. Now, the thing about the compressor is the settings you apply to this will be based on the audio that you're working on. So not all the clips are going to be the same. But once you have the correct settings applied, what you can do is you can save those settings as a preset, and then you don't have to do them again. Just apply the presets to that audio clip and that's it, you're done. So I'm just going to apply some settings to this and we'll see how they work. Okay, so we'll see where the volume is now.
Was released. This idiot started a YouTube channel with a crazy purchase. A 1999 Porsche 911 with 243,000
I'll turn the compressor off.
miles, which I bought for only $9,500.
See how much lower the volume
is.
is?
The cheapest running clean title 911 with a manual
Now I'll turn the compressor back on.
Transmission for sale in the USA at the time, and I wanted to prove the original drivetrain was still healthy.
Now that was just with some randomly selected settings. We can make them even more noticeable.
I've recently set up a wheel-well account for Apollo 911, listing many of the parts I've used for the build, which...
So do you see where the volume comes now? Check this out. This is before.
...of others in building a great new enthusiast community.
So the volume level was between 18 and 15 dB just then. And now I'll just back it up a little bit and turn the compressor back on.
And thousands of others in building a great new enthusiast community.
Much better.
Unfortunately, the engine wasn't...
Apply the compressor to this section too.
...wasn't long for this world, and I blew it up on a track day about...
So some of these clips don't even need a compressor applied to them. Like this, for example, or even these bits. What you can do is turn up the gain a little bit more to match.
And 4 months later...
To match what these sound like. But to be honest, I don't think I'd even bother. So that's this video sorted out, and if you want to check out the audio for yourself or even the videos, then go to his channel and check it out. Now what I'll do is I'll just get rid of this and then import this clip right here. So once again we've got a crazy variation in volume levels. So let's just pretend that we've imported this, and I'm going to split this up. Okay, so let's just leave it as this. Now this clip right here, I'll play it for you so you can listen to it.
Tell them there are lots of hoops to jump through to get licensed. Most states don't want casual park.
So you see how his vocals aren't even that loud, but look at the waveform. And check this out.
And if you don't have a conversational personality and aren't willing to be even a little pushy,
I'd go as far as to say his vocals are probably about as loud on this clip
and it was a 2,000 square foot
as they are on this clip.
line for me. Most states require some.
That is nearly minus 3 dB. So the thing that's really affecting the volume levels on this clip is, have you guessed it? That background noise, all that bass, all those low frequencies. Low frequencies carry a lot of energy and they can really affect audio clips. So what I'm going to do is apply a graphic equalizer. So I'm going to drag that into this, and here we have the equalizer, and what I'll do is simply apply a high pass, and we'll set this at say 170, and we'll make this a fairly steep curve. 36 dB and play.
Inventory inside and keep them clean and secure. And since most sales
Now if you really wanted to hear the vehicle, you can vary the amount of high pass you want on this.
the location for the dealership. A lot of people view car lots as eyesores, which was recently the case with my mechanic, the car wizard.
So yeah, it depends on the clips as to where you want your high pass filter to be. You know, 160 Hertz, 120 Hertz, you know, it just depends on your clips. So personally, I would apply something like this. And then what we can do is just boost the gain on both of these. So say 8 dB.
Zoning board approval, or in smaller towns, the city council.
once a customer left the lot without some kind of commitment.
So you see how crazy this waveform looks? If we rendered this out, it will be clipping. So what we got to do is reduce the gain by minus 8 dB because we raised it. And then what we can do is apply the compressor to it. Now, one thing about the compressor is it can stop your audio from clipping. What you want to do is set the margin to whatever you want. So I'm going to set it to about 2.5, 2.6, and just play around with these thresholds. And that should be about it.
Funny little zoning laws about parking and other reasons that just give bureaucrats a reason to say no.
Now, the other thing with this compressor is it has a brick wall limiter. So what you do is set it, and that will prevent the volume from going above whatever you set on here. Whatever you set the margin for. So I'm going to set it at 2.5, and now when we press play, go to a loud bit.
Somebody there didn't like the idea of a car lot being next door, and tried to use their political muscle to block your dealer's licenses, finding a property zone commercial
You see that?
to rent. My first space was about
And that is how we sort out this audio.
and aren't willing to be even a little pushy
Once again, we can apply a compressor to this clip too,
to motivate people to buy.
to bring up the volume on it. Obviously the settings are going to have to be different to this clip, and ideally, once again, when you import your footage from your camera, from your computer, you want to go through the clips individually to make sure the gains are about equal, and then go on from there. So I think he's recording this on his phone as well, and well, you know, there's disadvantages to that, such as wind noise.
Now somebody traded this in for a new S-Class lease, I bet.
But yeah, I thought I'd just make a quick video on this, and there we have it. Hope this helps. If it doesn't, then never mind. And if it does, then let me know, or don't let me know, whatever. Nice little informational video for you. Make of it what you will, and I hope you apply these techniques in your video. So that's all for now, and I'll see you next time.